everyone. So I'm very excited because I finally get to do the review of the pens that I used during the month of January, and I get to show you the ones that I'm going to be using in February. Now, I just saw Chris mid February review, and I haven't started mine yet because of the fact that I still had ink in my pens. My new pens I had housed, their house was here while I was waiting to finish the other pens, and now I get to share them with you guys. But before we do that, I want to do the review of the January pens. So you can see I wrote in pink because of the fact that the pink was the one that was not finished. And so yeah, that's the reason why it took so long for me to be able to share this with you guys. So in January, I've got a feeling that some of it might be due to the fact that I had so many pens going at the same time. So I had 8, and that might be why. The first one I finished was the Pilot Metropolitan in the purple. Then it was the Pilot Vanishing Point, because that one doesn't have much ink capacity anyway in it. And then the next one I finished was the Monte Grappa, which was a nice, a very nice feeling. Then I had the Conklin. Then I finished the Platinum Plaserian in Barley Citrus, and then the Twisby Echo, and finally the Platinum Plaisir. I still have ink in the Moonman. The Moonman is really more for when I'm doing my my art here. I'm also realizing that I really don't like that nib. I realize that there's two other nibs in the case, so I could change it out, either that or change it to a Goulet nib. I really love having the black carbon ink in it because of the fact that I can use it in my mixed media and it's waterproof, but I really don't like the fact that it's really scratchy. So let's review what happened. So the Twisby Echo demonstrator with the Emerald de Chivard got an A++, because I really love that Twisby Echo. It's one of my go-to. It has a huge capacity, which is why it took me so long to finish it off. And that ink is really one of my favorites. So obviously this got a really good grade. The Platinum Plaisir, it's a fine nib, and it had the Lamy Vibrant Pink, which I usually pair with it because of the fact that it's pink, and I like that pink usually, but I got so tired of seeing it because it was just not finishing. I also realized that the fine nib is probably something that is limiting my pleasure because I'm finding it scratchy, and I'm not liking it as much. I placed a big order with Amazon Japan, and I ordered some platinum preppies, and from what I've read, you can change the unit for the fountain pen with the Platinum Plaisir ones. So I ordered them in medium so that I can try it out, and hopefully that will solve that issue. Then the Monte Grappa Mary Fortuna, that was the first time I wrote with it. I love that pen. It's a big heavy pen. It's gorgeous, it's patinaed, it's just beautiful. The ink was amazing in it. Obviously it's the Pilot Taketsumi, and it was just awesome, just beautiful, a joy to use. It's not waterproof, and so I did I don't remember where, but The thing is, when I'm writing, often I'll put my hand on this side, and if I wrote on this side, I end up just the heat in my hands and the moisture, it ends up smidging. So I'm trying to put like an envelope or something so that I can rest my hand and not smudge it, because I always write on both sides in my journal, where I just put my thought, my brain dump. So that's where I write most of the time, and I've been sketching as well a little bit. So that's what I found. But other than that, I really love it. I gave the Conklin Duraflex Freedom an A. I'm not used to working with this type of nib, because it's a flex nib, and so I'm really not used to it, and I think that's why I didn't have the best of experience at the start. I paired it with the blue Pilot ink, the Kontinuum, and it was beautiful ink in it. It was just perfect. The Pilot Metropolitan, obviously the Retro Pop in purple, that got an A++. I really love that. The ink is gorgeous, the purple. I always use the Imperial Purple Diamine in it, and I just love that ink. It was also the only purple I had at the time, so now I'm gonna have another one, and I can see which ones I prefer, but that one I really love. Then I gave an A+ to the Pilot Vanishing Point, and the reason why I got an A+, I think it's my fault, because I had just washed it, and I think there was too much water still in it, and so it was leaking for a while, until it kind of dried up, and then it was writing perfectly without leaking. But for a while, when I was writing, I could see on my fingers leakage, which is not normal. And like I said, at the end, it wasn't doing that anymore. So I think it's because of me when I washed it and then I put the ink right away. I think it was still too wet, and that's why it created that issue. But the ink is gorgeous. I've used it in that pen before. It's just a beautiful, beautiful pen. And I'm trying not to use it so that I can vary my other pens and give them some love as well. So this is not in my this month rotation. Then there's the Platinum Plaserian Barley Citrus. I had put the Caroube de Chypre, the Jacques Herbin ink, the 1670 series in it. The ink is gorgeous. I did finish this one before the pink because of the ink. It was working with what I was writing, and I think there was probably less ink in this one than in the pink. This one is also a fine, and at the time when I was ordering fountain pens, I didn't know better. I didn't know what I liked. I'm still figuring out what I like. Maybe at the end of the day I'll go back to the fine, I don't know, but for now I'm not liking that as much. This one here is in the medium, the Pilot Metropolitan, and I had a lot more fun with it. So I've got a feeling that that's why I didn't like it as much, but I love that pen. It's a beautiful yellow. Yeah, so the Moonman S5, I've got the extra fine nib in it, which is probably why I'm not liking it at all, because as you see, I don't like the fine nibs. So I got a feeling that I need to change the nib. I don't know if I can change the nib because it's a dropper pen. So I don't know how that would work, because yeah, and I don't want black ink all over everything. So I will have to see if I take the chance of changing that. But so this one I put a C. I'm really not fond of it right now. I love this pen. Like, I just love the look of it. I love the Albany type of fake little tortoise type of thing. I love the fact that it doesn't roll, like, because of the little stone, like it will stay put. It's a beautiful, I love the shape and everything, but I'm really not liking that nib. So we shall see. So this one obviously is going to stay in the rotation because it's still filled up. And let's write down what we're doing for this month. So these are the pens that I'm going to be using. Obviously the Hello Kitty one had to be part of this because, let's be honest, like, this is my unicorn pen. I'm so happy with having it. It's the best Valentine's Day gift ever. So this is the month of February. And it's so wet and just perfect. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It's just awesome. And this is a fine nib, but I don't know, it doesn't write the same way, I guess, as every pen has a different type of, because the TWSBI Echoes that I have are also fine nibs, and those are fine. So I guess it really depends on the pen. So this is the ink that I decided to put in this, because I would have put pink, but I was so fed up of seeing the pink because of the previous month, so that I didn't put pink in it. I put the Pilot Yamabudo in it, which is kind of a violet type of ink. So this is my Kaweco Hello Kitty. Find him. It just writes so well. It's just such a pleasure. And in it I put the Pilot. And this is the first time I use this ink, so I thought it was fitting. And I'm gonna do what with Chris does, and which is this little type of mark. You can see it's very wet. So this is gonna be, I can tell you right now, this is probably gonna be one of the ones that are empty the fastest, because of the fact that the ink, I put the converter in it, but the converter is so tiny. It's so tiny. So yeah, it's probably gonna be empty very quickly. But I will try not to re-ink it, because I really want to give the love to the other pens as well. So the next one is the Cross Wanderlust in the Antelope pattern, and this pen was given to me by my dad for Christmas. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous pen. It's really funny because it's such a different type of pen for me. Like, it's so tiny. Like, you can see my other pens, they're much bigger, the barrels, and I'm used to bigger size barrels. So this is something new to me, and I'm not quite sure how I'm feeling about it, just because it's so tiny. It's a gorgeous pen, but I'm not sure about the I'm not sure about that. So I was waiting for the converter for this one, and then I found the perfect ink for it. I've put in the Apache Sunset from Noodlers. It's just gorgeous. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous pen. Now, I'm not sure what the nib size is on this one. I don't know if it's a medium or if it's a fine. It writes more like a medium than a fine. And it does look a little bit thicker than this one, which is a fine. So it's probably a medium, but I don't know. And I'm not pulling it apart to see, and I cannot see it like that. So yeah, so this is the Cross Wanderlust. And it's perfect. Like, you can see the variation in the ink color. So I really have a feeling that it's a medium versus like something like this. And you will see what this one is a medium as well, and it does write similar to this. Wanderlust, and it's Antelope. And in it, I put the Noodlers. Hush. Sunset. And you can see, like, it's really, and I think this is a medium. So, and you can see that it's really showing the different variation of the ink. I'm hoping the camera picks it up, but like you can see, like some of it is it really has a nice shading, this ink. So I think that one is going to be I will be using it a lot, but it does feel very strange in my hand, I have to admit. Then I have this one, which is a new pen to me, which I purchased in the month of January, and I haven't used because I was being really good at finishing off my other pen. This is the Platinum Plaisir in the Venus Belt limited edition, and I just love the look of this pen. Again, I probably could have, like, it has some blue and purple and pink. I probably would have paired it with the pink, but because I was so fed up of the pink, I didn't. And I went with my new ink from Jacques Herbin, which is the Amethyst de l'Oural, and I've been wanting to play with that ink so much, so it's going to be really fun to play with this one. And it has silver in it. It's just gorgeous. So this is the Platinum, and I have a lot more fun writing with this, which is the medium nib. So I really have a feeling that that if I change the nib size on the other one, it's gonna make a big difference to the writing experience. Limited edition Venus Belt in a medium, and it really writes similar to this, so I've got a feeling that they're both mediums. And I've paired it with the Amethyst de l'Oural from Jacques Herbin. And yeah, it's a gorgeous purple. So this is probably going to be the one that's going to be competing against the Imperial Purple Diamine. But you can see it's a lot darker than this one. This one is a lot brighter. So it's funny because this one is kind of, well, it's more violet basically, because you can see like the different, it's not pink obviously. So yeah, so I think it's going to be really fun to have this book, just so that you can see the different pens and how they react and everything. So then I've got my Kontinuum, the Fire, the Kontinuum, it's the Element limited edition series in the Fire, and this one I've got a stub nib, which is the first time I ever purchased a stub nib, so I'm not sure how that's gonna write. It was funny because I got my husband to try it out, and he was having a lot of trouble writing with it, so that was funny. I have in it the Rouge Amethyst from Jacques Herbin, which I figured was going to be a nice red for it, and I don't use red very often, so Elements, and it's the Fire. And I've got the stub nib, and I've put in it the rouge. I like the variation, and I'm gonna try to do calligraphy a little bit more, because I feel like with this type of nib it would be more like easier to do, because you can see that it does give the thin and the larger depending on your writing. So yeah, I really love that ink. It has a shimmer and gold. I'm really into shimmers. If you haven't figured that one out, I love it. So I was very, I really wanted to, these are all pens I've been dying to ink up, so I'm really happy with them. And the Kontinuum come with the converters, so it's really great. I know that Chris doesn't like the Kontinuum nibs. I do, so it's not a problem for me. This one though, it has a little bit of a start issue. Like, it depends on how you put it to paper, depending on how you write. My husband had a lot of trouble starting this one up. So yeah, it's more scratchy, but it does write, and it's very juicy, so that's something I really like in a pen. See, that's what I mean, like, it doesn't, depending on how you hold it. So this is a medium nib, and in it I put the Colorverse Quasar 13, and you can see it's very juicy, this one. So I will be playing with this and seeing how I like it. I really like my other Kontinuum pen. I love the look of them. I love the feel of them. They're big and heavy pens. Well, heavy, not that heavy, but you know, like, they're heavier than let's say something like this, which is aluminum. This one is a little bit heavier, but it's metal. So yeah, and then you finally have this one, which is the Moonman. Let's just make sure I've got the right name. S5 extra fine nib, and the ink is the platinum carbon ink in black. You can see it doesn't really smudge that one. So those are the pens that I will be using this month. I do have to admit to having a real big fountain pen addiction. I have more pens that are coming my way. I just can't seem to help myself. I just love fountain pens so much, and I've been having so much fun with them, and it's really starting to help me get back into journaling more. So that's something I really appreciate, and if having a good fountain pen does it, well, it's all good. I think there's worse addictions than fountain pens. So yeah, and a lot of them are like not very expensive ones, like the Platinum Plaisir type of pen. I also have the Twisby Echo in the rose gold and white coming, so I'm very excited about that. And the Kaweco in the Lilliput, it's very small. So it's gonna be probably something, I've got a feeling that the Lilliput is gonna be more like a feeling of holding a pen like this one, like the cross. So we shall see. I like trying different type of pens and seeing, and I'm just a collector at heart, so those pens are not going anywhere. I'll be having fun with them for many years to come if I take good care of them and don't drop them, obviously. So I hope that you've liked this little video and this little sum of what I liked and what I didn't like in the month of January, and I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Love you guys. Bye.